going into the last, leading by nearly 4 goals, and with the breeze again, they still couldn't get up. Robbie Flower, of course, was playing his last game of football, as it turned out, but he was injured and probably wouldn't have played in the grand final anyway. So let's go to VFL Park, Melbourne and Hawthorn, at about this time last year, and the last quarter of the preliminary final.
Melbourne looked like beating Hawthorn and going into the grand final, but 1 quarter of football left to play, and Hawthorn will fight it right out to the finish. The wind coming across the ground now. Abbott in the ruck with Greg Deere off the ground. Eishold takes it out of the centre for Melbourne. An awkward bounce, tapped on by Ricky Jackson. Jenkins there for Hawthorn. Jenkins got out, Russo out wide. He finds that player. Russo comes up towards centre wing. Puts the ball up towards the half-forward line, but it's Stephen Stretch in the way. Plays on immediately. Hooks the ball up towards the wing. Brereton now at centre-half back comes through. Breaks one tackle, then another. Hand passes on to Curran, to Platten. Platten puts the ball up towards the half-forward line. Paul Deere up in the middle, but it's punched away by Hughes. Spalding gives it on. Back to Spalding from Bailey. Bailey to Eishold, and Melbourne go forward. Long kick from Eishold. Jenke in the way, can't take the mark. Pritchard comes in, lost possession. Melbourne through Wilson, get the hand pass to Jackson. Jackson with speed. Jenke putting him under pressure. The ball's ball over the line, and the throw-in will take place. Out of bounds on the full, it won't be a throw-in. It's a Melbourne free kick to Rodney Grinter.
Well, there's Chris Langford, who made that bad mistake of kicking it off the ground, out of bounds on the full. Rodney Grinter, was good thinking by John Northey to put a player of Grinter's marking ability and size up on Gary Ayres in that forward pocket. Now let's see this. Off the ground kick. Yes, good decision that by the boundary umpire. As we see a great camera shot of this one from behind Rodney Grinter. He has to thread this one through the eye of a needle with this kick. And the way they're playing, he's likely to do that. No, doesn't quite make it. There's the ball fisted away, and it's forced through for a behind to the Melbourne side by that Hawthorn. Kennedy dodges around. Now he's going to have a shot from the half-forward line. Paul Deere is there. He tries to smother it. Little Greg Healy heads full in the home and puts it through for a point. But, gee, they're falling down badly. The Hawks up and around the goal square area. They have not got a little man there to contest.
No, I would be more inclined to have Brereton on the forward line, but he's not a small man, let's face that. It's a lively kick from there, and the Curran comes out with it. It's been paid the mark. I think he might have been a bit lucky.
We might have been a touch to stretch there, Bob.
Curran puts the ball wide. It's all Hawthorn, and Paul Deere leaves it for John Kennedy. Kennedy is 40 metres out from goal. If Paul Deere turns around, he's on his own, but Kennedy will have the shot at goal. Only 2 kicks for the game, 7 handballs to John Kennedy. We're approaching the 4-minute mark of this quarter. There's John Kennedy. Hooks it across the face of goal. Russell Morris is there to take a nice mark. 15 metres, that's foolish. That is foolish play to knock the ball out of Morris's hands. On replay, we'll see Kennedy put it out. Morris takes a mark, and that's not where it was. If we'd have waited just a little bit longer, we would have seen the ball knocked out, and a 15-metre penalty sees it go through the centre from Russell. Passes immediately to Grinter. Grinter up towards the centre wing. Dermot Brereton, who has played well in defence in this quarter. Brereton with a hand pass. The favourable bounce for Tuck. Tuck puts it back towards the half-forward line. Kennedy stands his ground, and it's a good, courageous mark. He plays on immediately. The lead from Buckenara. Under the chest it goes.
Well, the Hawks are really on fire at the moment. They're well on top. Gary Ayres has ducked back. Oh, here's danger. Ayres is back there. Here's a great overhead mark. Ayres couldn't take it. Here's a chance for Paul Deere. In goes Kennedy. Morris smothered. It's in the goal square. Tremendous pressure on.
Wonderful defence by Melbourne.
It certainly was great defence by the Melbourne players. They dived on the ball. Look at that for Daddy Hughes. Morris looked the goal. Eishold dived on it. Tremendous play, Melbourne.
Bounce in the centre square. Ayres grabs it, snaps towards goal. 1 point the result.
Well, those coaching moves by Alan Jeans, which
they've really come off.
We did not like
Brereton has done well at centre half back.
That's right, and I didn't like them at the time. Flowers back off the ground. He wasn't fit. I think he's done some ribs.
Curran gets a short kick, intercepted by Stretch. Across the ground it comes. Leading in the race for the ball is Langford. Langford gets a hand pass over, looking for Russell Green. Green back to Langford. Will he get a good bounce? Yes, he does. Langford steadies, drives the ball over the half-forward line. Deere in front. A lovely mark this time to Paul Deere.
That's 15, I think. Yes, it's 15 against Steins. Very undisciplined play, Jim Steins. That was 15, and Paul Deere, he's got a chance to make up for a moment ago, the young fella. I can imagine the pressure on this kick, Bob. How would you feel, eh?
How would you feel? Only a youngster, Paul Deere. The kick to goal as he hooked it. 1 point the result. Well, he took a lovely mark and, well, you'll no need to say what's going through Paul Deere's mind at the moment. I'm sure the expression and the attitude tells every story.
It's a fantastic comeback, this by Hawthorn. I think it just shows what guts that the Hawthorn side has got.
Certainly does, Pete. And Melbourne fighting all the way, though. Desperate to make that grand final. Curran was up high. Stretch taps the ball forward. Got a bad bounce. Brett Bailey's there. The hand pass to Healy. Back to Viney. Viney on the stretch. Great effort by Melbourne as the long kick comes out of the forward line. It bounces awkwardly for Brereton this time. Dean takes it, breaks the tackle. Warren Dean goes short across the ground. Wilson couldn't take it. Yates has got the man there. Beautifully smothered by Tuck. In current comes Michael Tuck's there, trying to tap the ball out. Does so, and we find Langford. So too White. Both players showing the tremendous courage, and it's over the line for a throw-in on Melbourne's half-forward line. 67 to 75, 8 points the margin.
Well, at the moment you'd have to favour Melbourne or Brian Wilson. This is bad news. He's hurt himself badly. Even if they win today, they're going to have some injuries for next week. Wilson, Flower, and if they have to go into against Carlton without those two, what a task. Look at Brian Wilson. He's hurt his shoulder badly, I would say. 8 points the difference. 23 minutes gone. Final corner. White to Langford. Chris Langford, a hurried kick. Newport, hooked out, almost a throw. To Kennedy, Kennedy to Curran, over the back. Platten, grabbed by Jimmy Steins, and a long kick. That's the way to play it. Dermot Brereton, Abbott has been a fantastic player in this quarter. Over to Langford. Langford, Morris, Spalding. Oh, they're putting in their guts. Morris, over to Paul Deere. Oh, it's Jenke. Jenke, Buckenara! Buckenara's marked 30 metres from goal, and we must remember Buckenara is one of the best kicks for goal in league football. If he kicks it, if he kicks his goal, they will be 2 points down. Gary Buckenara, he kicks. Oh, hit the post. Oh, what else are we going to see today, Bob?
Well, if ever a side is meant to win a game of football, maybe it's Melbourne. As they lead there in Yates, so too Healy. Healy shepherded by Yates. A good piece of play. And Greg Healy from 50 metres out, down towards the square. Can it be taken from Melbourne? Yes! Eishold takes the mark. Simon Eishold with the chance of sewing the game up for Melbourne. From behind on replay, Eishold takes a lovely mark. Eishold spent most of the day on the interchange, has the chance of being the hero. They lead by 8 points at the moment. A goal would probably seal the game. 26 and a half minutes have gone. Look at the pressure on young Simon Eishold, the boy from Ormond, 20 years of age. Simon Eishold, oh, it's 1 point, he's hooked it. Look at the pressure on those players.
Well, I think, Bobby, nearly 2 minutes gone in time on. Can the Hawks come back? A goal and make a goal now to Hawthorn, and this is going to be a sensational finish. I think the time might run out for them, though, as the clock ticks away. Curran, great courage. Off the ground. Here comes Langford. Oh, here's their chance. Green and Platten. Russell Green. He's got it. Morris. Handball. Platten. In he goes. The ball comes loose. Paul Deere. Handball. Goal. Buckenara. And the Hawks are in it.
Buckenara's fourth goal. And the margin between the sides. 3 points. only one kick in this game. Whoever gets it out of the centre, what a piece of football it'll be. 27 and a half minutes have gone on replay. Over the top it comes from Paul Deere to Buckenara, and it's a 3-point margin between.
Because it showed enormous courage. Oh, smothered away from Schwab. Greg Healy, the half forward. Brereton, Campbell gets away. He kicks, he misses. So Hawthorn live again.
But from a Melbourne point of view, Pete, it's at the right end of the ground. Hawthorn have to come all the way down the ground. 28 and a half minutes have gone. Alan Jeans has a close look at the situation. The long kick taken by Swab, plays on. Langford comes out with the ball, drives it down. Buckenara trip. Buckenara's free kick. Siren sounds. There's the siren, and he's got a kick from 55 metres out. I don't think they...
It's 15 metres! 15! What pressure on Gary Buckenara. He is a champion. He is a great kick. If he kicks this goal, Hawthorn are in the grand final.
The umpires haven't heard it yet, I don't think.
If he kicks this goal, Hawthorn are in the 1987 grand final. If he misses, Melbourne are in. There's the kick. It's a goal! It's a goal! Hawthorn have won with a kick after the side. A magnificent performance this by Hawthorn. Poor old Melbourne. You've got to, the hearts go out to the Melbourne Football Club. Stephen Stretch can't believe it, but there's the character. That was a courageous win, that by Hawthorn. They were down and out, Bob.
Well, look at the expression on the fans. Look at Earl Spalding. Melbourne players absolutely demoralised. Hawthorn, understandably, well, they're over the moon. A magnificent fight back, but you must feel for those Melbourne players. They were absolutely superb in defeat. Well, I can understand how they must feel. Inexperience in many cases, but, well, Hawthorn's comeback, absolutely magnificent. They've earned the right to meet Carlton next week. A fairy tale end comes to an end as Melbourne beaten, certainly beaten but not disgraced. Melbourne, in many respects, deserves to be there next week. They can hold their head high. They were great in defeat. John Northey, superb as a coach of Melbourne. But what a magnificent fight back, Pete.
Well, it was a fantastic effort by both sides.
What a pressure kick.
I'll never forget that. As long as I've been covering football, Gary Buckenara proved himself a true champion. He kicked 5 goals. He had to kick that, but I really believe that 15-metre penalty made all the difference to that kick. I doubt whether he would have kicked it from where he was, Bob.
No doubt about that.
And that just shows you that, you know, a little bit of undisciplined play can cost you, but let's not worry about that. Let's thank and congratulate every player that was out there. That man there carried a wrist injury, Dippier, a minute ago, stayed on the ground.